I just had a podcast with Miriam Magdalene. That was huge. She's the real deal,
Well,
bro.
she's a what?
She's the real deal.
Okay, why do you say that?
Uh, well, first turn your camera horizontally so we can properly discuss
Oh
this.
my, you really doing this?
Wow.
Is it recording?
Yes, of course.
Okay. We in the building, guys.
Wow.
All right, go on.
I'm very impressed by her. That's the right way of saying it. Impressed. You know, you impress something. You impress an apple. I got impressed by her. So she was talking. I asked her, how did you get started in the spiritual path? And she told me, and waited patiently for her to for her to finish or to complete her story, and then asked her some questions. 4 questions I asked her. And while she was talking, I could feel her energy. She's totally authentic. There's no thought behind what she's saying. She's just saying. And she gave me some very clear perspective onto what I'm doing wrong, how my life is right now, and what I've been saying. And technically, she said this, and I feel this is true. This word enlightenment is reserved. I don't have enlightenment. I have realization, self realization. That makes me feel very special. It's true. I said it. But enlightenment, I've been saying I'm enlightened. I mean, it kind of makes sense. You know, it's people don't really understand. It's an attention grabbing word, but truthfully, that's not what it is. I'm not enlightened. I'm working towards enlightenment. She made me realize I need to go towards enlightenment. Is she enlightened? I don't know. I'm not sure, but definitely she's evolved spiritually, psychically. She said she met her twin flame, and she knows that she knows what she's doing. She knows the importance of sexuality and sexual energy, and to protect yourself from just promiscuity. And so I'm gonna have a lot more coaching calls with her. I'm gonna get guidance from her. You know, she's a woman that can guide me. She can tell me things, and oh, that's very interesting. I'll learn from her. That's very. I can't say that for most girls in my life. So I'm very excited to see what's to come, and yeah, kudos to her. Congratulations. Whatever she's doing, it's working.
That's beautiful to hear. Wow. Step by step, man, you're being guided with breadcrumbs into the right place. Um, yeah, wow, that is beautiful to hear. It's like it feels very liberating to renunciate the term enlightenment. So what is this attachment to being perceived as enlightened? Like, what does that even fucking mean? Like, yeah, there's something about it. Like this, obviously we went through this little phase. You know, I went through this little phase on my own channel talking about it. And I was like, wow, I'm getting all these people commenting and it's triggering people. I was like, oh, interesting, okay. Um, and then you went down this whole phase of like attaching to it, this title. But what is the value of that, truthfully? Like, what is. I don't think, again, it's not really a word that gets to be thrown around. It feels like a word that has a silence to it. If you tune into the word enlightenment, it's not this big brash marketing thing, look at me. No, it's a silence.
Yeah, similarly with you, I said some words, I experimented with my YouTube channel, and I just started talking about enlightenment, and oh wow, all the views and comments, and I thought I'll just keep doing this. I'll keep doing the same thing and more and bigger and louder. Hey guys, I'm this word. Everybody, oh no, no, no. So it was fun for a while. I'm definitely not going to do this again. It's not accurate. It's incorrect. She goes on to say this was revolutionary to me, that the right way of doing it, or the way that naturally happens, or the way that God wants it, I guess, is the woman becomes enlightened. She has light in her body, and the man becomes self realized. He knows he's not the physical material self, but not enlightened. And then when the divine union comes, she allows him to go inside of her body. And then that energy merges and he becomes enlightened through her, through that portal. Whoa. That was very rewarding to hear. So yeah, looking at her videos, I thought, oh, she's a spiritual teacher, kind of. But now hearing her talk, oh wow, that's fantastic. So I'm seeing her for the first time, and it's great.
Good, I'm happy. I'm happy. That's like my biggest reason for being here is like witnessing your unfolding as well. It's like just seeing you gradually unfold. When I first met you, you was a completely different person to where you are today. And it takes a lot of courage for you to arrive where you have arrived today in terms of your expression, in terms of your willingness to look at your shadow, your willingness to put yourself in uncomfortable situations. That's the only reason why I'm here, to be honest.
Hmm.
Um, had you, there were moments where you was very resistant and avoidant and protecting this identity, but like I see your unfolding, and that's rare. It's a very rare trait.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I know that Mariam is like that next step in a way. When I first found out about her at the end of last year, she was supporting me indirectly through her videos. I was watching all these self-realized teachers, non-dual teachers, but there was no one that I found where it just hit me. Like, I was like, wow, she's the one. And I stopped watching everyone else and I was just binge watching her videos. And it was helping me with my integration. And then there was a time when I started watching more of her videos and I got really triggered. I got really triggered by the things that she was saying. And I was like, man, fuck this girl. Like there was like almost like a hatred. And so I started writing all these questions that were coming up when I was watching videos. All this self-inquiry. I was like, okay, one day I'm going to interview Mariam and I'm going to ask her all these questions. Because like this doesn't make sense to me. This doesn't make sense. And then within the space of a few months, I find myself actually in Portugal with her. It was very funny. Um, it turns out she was working on this new Earth project, acquiring land and building community for self-realized and enlightened beings. And yeah, I was also working on a similar project of acquiring land and building new Earth. And she invited me to a call one day with her team. And from there, things just started to evolve. And I got to be in her presence and witness her authenticity and her devotion to truth, her devotion to God, her integrity. Like she's unbreakable with her integrity to God. There is no question about it.
Mm.
And it's a very rare thing to see. Now, don't get me wrong, I still hold a lot of discernment about certain things that she speaks about. I still have certain, I don't know if resistance is the right word, but like, I don't know if it's true. And so that's why I still intend on having more conversations with her to um, unpack that, I guess you could say.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like to claim that we are enlightened is to claim that we are immune, that no one can give us reflections. It's a very safe boundary to
Mm.
hold. It's like, oh, I'm enlightened, so you can't say anything to me. What a safe way to protect a wounded little inner child, a wounded little boy that you have inside of you. For me as well, both of us. Um, we have shadows, and I don't think I'm immune to that. In fact, show me my shadow. Show me my shadow. I'll gladly look at my shadow.
Yeah, she at the end of the podcast, at the end of the video, she started saying things and it started rising in intensity. And I just felt the anger inside of me coming out. I wanted to stop the video or change the subject. Oh, and then I realized, oh, something's happening within me. She was talking about self identity and the ego and pursuit of materialism and living in survival. She says that most men are like this. And she was speaking directly to me or about me. Maybe she didn't know it, but having a spiritual ego, absolutely have a spiritual ego. Why? Because I'm trying to figure out how to survive, how to meet my needs, and so this is how it's manifesting. What I wanted to say here on video, but it wasn't appropriate, that I'm fulfilling my self-image. My self-image isn't big enough. It's a fulfillment process. It'll inflate to such an extent, then either I'll be complete and that's it, or it'll shatter, or it'll pop like a balloon or something. But me eroding my self image, that doesn't work. That's like saying me eroding my survival chances or something else. No, that can't happen. I have to survive and survive better. So that's why you're saying the self image and self ego or whatever, spiritual ego. Yes, I have one. There's no doubt. Is it a bad thing? Is it a wrong thing? I'm not really sure. It's good. Everything is good in my life. I'm perfect. There's no flaws. Just kidding. Yeah, I want to hear
I
your
think
reflections.
I think perfection is to have flaws.
Hmm.
It's like we are all perfect despite flaws. That's the most important thing to accept. Um, there is no like you're not gonna be this like divine, holy, perfectly healed, perfect. Like no, we're human beings. The nature of being human is imperfection, and that imperfection is perfection. Truthfully,
Mm-hmm. Something else she mentioned is talking about the twin flames. She said that a man has to be self realized and that the woman is there to help her or help him and submit to him. And she said all the right words, traditionally speaking. I thought, okay, I like that. And so I'm curious. I'm going to talk with her more, and that's going to be the intention of my call. How do I find this person? How do I manifest this, or how do I work on myself enough that this kind of naturally comes? Because yeah, some big things have to change in my physical reality for that to manifest. Probably. Um, yeah. What are your thoughts on that?
yeah. If you still have ego present, then you attract a egoic soulmate in a way or a karmic partner. But if there is no ego present, there is like a dissolution. All that's left is there's an emptiness that's present. And I think
Hmm.
with that emptiness, you leave room for like an authentic twin flame to come into your life. The term twin flame holds a certain, like, I have a certain narrative in my mind around what that means, which I'm still not fully certain on. But I still believe that there's like a room for, how do I explain this? Yeah, I don't know about the word twin flame, but having a high level soulmate or someone that is of a similar frequency to you, sure.
Hmm. Yeah, me too. When she said the word twin flame, I got it. Okay, yes, this feels true. This feels safe, meaning what she's saying. But other times I think, oh, twin flame, that's just a bunch of nonsense. Yet at the same time, she was saying that when a man meets this divine woman or this divine female counterpart, he will be still, absolutely. He will just look at her and think what's going to happen next because that sheer presence and intensity will be so strong. I know that to be true inside. I know this is going to happen. And it hasn't happened yet. All the girls that I've seen, okay, it's a nice girl, but there's nothing deeper than that. So, yeah, I think it's possible to have a twin flame and yeah.
Feel the same way. It's like I can see a woman that I find physically attractive, but to find like an energetic resonance on a deep level, rare, very rare. But they're out there. I don't believe there's just one person out there though. It's not like, oh, this is the perfect person that's going to complete me. No, there are multiple beings, I believe, that have a similar soul signature that you can come into union with. I really believe that, and they will hold a certain frequency to them. It's this equivalent frequency to the bliss. You'll feel the bliss when you tune into them.
Hmm. Yeah, I think that's it. Peace.
Good work.